In my opinion, training camp officially begins today as pads officially go on for the Detroit Lions. And I just call it officially training camp because it's really when you get to see what players are really like. You get to see how they act on the field more. You get to see how they play more, and just I think this is really when I think training camp begins. But from now on, I'm gonna try to make day observations or whatever you want to call it every single day until training camp is over. If I can't make it one day, that is because I have too much schoolwork going on or I just don't have enough time. However, I'm going to try to make as much as possible. And we're starting today, which is technically day 5, but I'm calling it day 1 because this is my favorite time of training camp. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, as you see in the thumbnail, there is a guy, Dariuce Fountain. He has been absolutely balling out during minicamp, OTAs, and training camp so far. He's been incredible. Now, let's take a look at him real quick here. All right? He's 28 years old. Will be turning 29 during the season. He's not a small guy by any means. 6'2", 210. It's pretty good. Now, matter of fact, I did not know this until I made this video that Dariuce Fountain was a former 5th-round pick. I thought he was a former UDFA. No, he was a former 5th-round pick in 2018 by the Colts. Let's take a look at his stats here. He played 5 games in 2020, so he didn't play his rookie season, didn't play his second season. Played his 3rd season in the COVID year in 2020. Played 5 games, had 2 receptions for 23 yards. Then he played with the 2 games with the Chiefs in 2021, did not have a single target. So, Dariuce Fountain, former 5th-round pick, essentially never played in the NFL, never got an opportunity. And I think this is really where it begins. I believe it begins in Detroit as he has been absolutely balling out. Dan Campbell, even today in his press conference, announced that we got an eye on Dariuce Fountain. We see Dariuce Fountain balling. Like, that's essentially how he was acting. Let's take a look at his college stats here because I'm very curious. Okay, no college stats. Any postseason stats? 3 games in 2021 postseason. Yeah, so no NCAA. Okay, I'm a little bit confused here. There's no stats for Dariuce Fountain in college here. So I'm a little bit confused about that. But nonetheless, Dariuce Fountain, former 5th-round pick, and I think he has a legitimate shot to make the team. Now let's go over Tim Twentyman's day 5 observations for training camp. So let me get this pulled up here. So Tim Twentyman, he does a great job of doing this every day. Puts a whole bunch out there. Padded practice. After a 4-day acclimation period and a day off Sunday, the players returned Monday for the first padded practice of training camp. When the pads came on, the energy and physicality ramps up, and that was certainly the case Monday for the Detroit Lions. The team did a live tackling period, one-on-one pass rush, and one-on-one coverage drills, which brought the highest intensity of camp so far. That's well aware, of course. Searching for an INT. I have it down as 5 practices in a row to start training camp without the defense recording an interception in a team period. The streak was nearly broken Monday when defensive lineman John Cominsky tipped a pass. That's good to see because he's on the roster bubble for me. At the line of scrimmage that fluttered in the air and right into the hands of cornerback Mekhi Robertson. Mekhi Robertson's making some noise. And he dropped it. Robertson was mad at himself after practice. He said he was telling everyone on defense he was going to get the first interception for the defense and that he didn't take advantage of his opportunity. He told me he'll still be the first defender to get one, but we will see. That's great to see for Mekhi Robertson, and even though Mekhi couldn't pick the ball off, that is good to see. We gave him a 2-year, $10 million deal essentially this offseason. He's going to be a key piece in the secondary. And good for Cominsky as well, tipping the ball. Anything from Cominsky I'm looking to see at this point, because Cominsky will be probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest roster bubble question marks right now. As honestly, I probably don't have him making the 53-man right now. I'm going to be real with you guys. He has to show me more than what he's been showing me lately. So, we'll see. But good for John Cominsky to see something going out on him. Pass rush drill. Oh, boy. I always head over to the pass rush drill between the offense and defensive linemen. The first day of pads. Again, why I call this really the first day of training camp. That is where games are won and lost in this league. A few highlights from those reps. Center Frank Ragnow looks to be in midseason form. He won both his reps against Broderick Martin and Chris Smith. Tim Twentyman. Is he not supposed to win those reps? Like, come on now. It's Chris Smith and Broderick Martin. No offense. Alright. Panay Silver, Aiden Hutchinson is must watch every day. Of course it is. Two of the best at their positions. They make each other so much better scoring off against one another as much as they do. The two split their 2 reps against each other in the drill. Hutchinson had a nice outside move of his win, and Sewell planted and stood Hutchinson up on his win. That's good to see for both. Colby Sorsdal had 2 great reps against Josh Paschal and UDFA Nate Lynn. Sorsdal has played almost exclusively at tackle to begin camp and has played well. That is good to see. I told you when we drafted Sorsdal last year, we should have kept him at tackle because that's what he played during college. And when essentially a player, an offensive lineman specifically, has never played another position besides tackle, then there's going to tend to be problems there. So I'm glad we get to see that. That also takes some pressure off of Giovanni Manu as well. But that's good to see against Josh Paschal, former second-round pick. He's a big question this year. Will he do that Aleem McNeil jump? Will he do that Afatu Melifonwu jump? Will he make those jumps? Veteran edge rusher Marcus Davenport is a big, powerful man. He had a great bull rush against Taylor Decker on 1 rep. If he stays healthy, he has a chance to make a difference opposite Hutchinson. Yes, he does. I've been saying this. However, the guy can't stay on the field. When the guy is on the field, he produces. He makes an impact. But the problem is 50% of the time, 75% of the time, during the season, he is not on the field. That's my issue with Marcus Davenport. Not his talents. He's a great player. My problem is he can't stay on the field. I had rookie defensive lineman Mekhi Wingo winning both his reps against Kevin Zeitler and Ike Botiger, a recently signed guard. He's got a really nice first step. That's great to see. I loved when we drafted Mekhi Wingo. Was projected to get drafted in the 4th round. We took him in the 6th. Winning against Kevin Zeitler. We picked him up in free agency, one of the better guards in the league. A rookie defensive tackle winning against one of the better guards in the league. That's great to see. And Ike winning against Ike Botiger. That's good competition for him. So I like to see that. Let's see if they got anything else here. Game of inches. Cornerback Carlton Davis was inches away from making 2 great plays back-to-back in the team period Monday. The first, he came up just short of breaking a Jared Goff pass tight end Sam Laporta over the middle. He and Laporta arrived at the ball at the same time and ran right into each other. But Laporta was able to hang on, make a tough catch. The very next play, Davis was running with wide receiver Jameis Williams. Great to see. Down the seam, and this time got his hands up and deflected the ball away. Carlton Davis, I see you. I thought it was Davis's best practice of camp so far. That is great to see. Hopefully Davis can be that new number 1 corner we've been looking for. Mr. Reliable. The team ended practice with a team period, and the last 2 plays of practice were completions over the middle of the field to wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, totaling about 40 yards. St. Brown and Goff have such great chemistry, and it still amazes me how open St. Brown gets time after time. Every defense knowing what's coming. I know. He's ridiculous. And lastly, hockey connection. It's great to see how... Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Don't care about this. Tackling drill. The team did some one-on-one open field tackling Monday. It's a drill that usually gets the players pretty fired up, pitting the offense versus the defense. A couple offensive highlights include Laporta putting a great juke on linebacker Alex Anzalone for a win. Tight end Shane Zylstra getting his offensive teammates fired up with a good spin move to avoid a Jalen Reeves-Maben tackle. And running back David Montgomery putting a good move on Jack Campbell to avoid a tackle. David Montgomery is an absolute dog, and Jack Campbell got to start making tackles, man. But those are the day 5 observations, in my opinion, when training camp officially begins, when pads officially go on. That's great to see. But I've heard from some other people as well that the receivers played very well today and continue to play very well, like Dariuce Fountain, Caden Davis. Jalen Calhoun on the Lions posted it on Twitter, had a phenomenal grab. If it was during the regular season, it would have been arguably the catch of the year. It was ridiculous. Maurice Alexander's been doing some things, so I'm not really concerned about the receiver position right now. Maybe I will during preseason a little bit more, but we'll just see. But safety and defensive end are still a priority to me. I still think we need to get one more at each position there. But leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think Dariuce Fountain will make the team? How do you feel about the pass rush right now? What do you think the Lions should add? And yeah, so one pride, go Lions. See you in the next one.